decided one of the next life skills that I was going to do was brushing teeth and just oral hygiene in general. My daughter seems to be struggling with that at the moment, even though she hasn't in the past. So gonna come back and focus on this again. But I decided also that even though I have a going to the dentist social story, I wanted to make a dental hygiene social story. So there are gonna be 2 new downloads today. Let's talk about the dental hygiene social story first though. I do know that a lot of kids who are autistic and neurodivergent in general have a hard time with brushing their teeth. This is actually something my 7-year-old autistic daughter has not struggled with until recently, mostly when she started losing her baby teeth. Before that, she was really good about it. She would let us brush her teeth. She would brush her teeth really well. And every dentist visit has been really easy actually. So I didn't have any reason to make this social story yet. But in the last few years, my daughter has started losing baby teeth. And we've actually noticed that she's had a more difficult time losing those baby teeth than she did getting them as an infant. When she was an infant, her baby teeth just popped up. She didn't have any of the, kind of quote unquote typical teething signs as an infant. She didn't have a fever. She didn't have a runny nose, no diarrhea, really wasn't fussy about it. The only way we knew she had teeth was when I could see them pop up in her mouth. Other than that, she really didn't have any behavioral or physical changes due to getting new teeth. She also got teeth very early. She started getting her first teeth when she was 4 months old. She got her first 2 bottom front teeth at 4 months old, and then just continued to get teeth very quickly after that, and had almost all of her teeth at the age of 1 and quickly had her molars after that. So we, of course, as first-time parents, thought that we were geniuses and great at parenting, and of course, it had nothing to do with us. Little did we know at the time. Now we know, so much wiser. However, my daughter really has struggled with losing those baby teeth. I think because especially she's gotten older, she's more sensitive to the pain in her mouth, and it's very intense sensory input for her. And so when a tooth is loose and she's starting to lose it, it can be very, very difficult. And she really doesn't like us to try and pull them out either. We've done it once. She tolerated it, but since then she really doesn't like anybody trying to pull them out or even talking about pulling them out. She's also struggled with the concept of losing baby teeth and then getting adult teeth. And so having that spelled out for her, I think, in a social story where it's fully explained that while she does lose her baby teeth, she's going to get new teeth and she will have a full mouth of teeth as long as she takes care of them by the end of this process. We've also noticed that it's been painful for her to get the adult teeth in as well. And so covering that and discussing that was something that was important to me in this social story. So like the other social stories that I have done here in Argentina, I got this file folder that I found at one of our local stores, and I taped the cover to the front of it, and then it has 10 plastic sheets. This is one of my shorter social stories and only has 10 pages. So each page got its own sheet. This is definitely one of the more durable ways that I have done social stories. I feel like these are going to last a little bit longer than the ones that I have cut and pasted at home or even just printed out at home. Laminating is definitely a preference for me, but I do like these. Like with all of my social stories, I try to be as inclusive and neuroaffirming as possible. So you're going to see a wide variety of types, sizes, shapes of people, along with disabilities included in the social story. And this one I feel like is supplemental to the going to the dentist social story. I have a page at the very end talking about how they're going to go to the dentist and that their grown-ups will help them get ready for that. So if you are going to be taking a child to the dentist soon, you can also check out the going to the dentist social story, and that'll help prep for that. Okay, next up is the life skill of brushing teeth and flossing. I decided to make each step smaller on the brushing the teeth life skills as opposed to how big they were with the taking a bath, because with taking a bath, I felt like they needed to be visible from a distance because you're not gonna be able to put them right in the bathtub necessarily. But with brushing teeth, they can be smaller, and they can either be made into a little flip book, which I did think about doing, but I decided to do it this way instead, and you'll see in a minute how I did it. But definitely a flip book is another option if that's something you think your child will benefit from instead. I wanted there to be an image for each one of these steps just because I do feel like there are some people that are more visual learners. Some people like having the steps just written out, which is why there is also just a list version of this that you can find in the download as well. And I tried to break this down into all the different steps that are required for brushing and flossing, including things like throwing out the floss pick. So I specifically talked about using floss picks as opposed to using just pieces of string floss, because I have found with my daughter specifically that floss picks are a lot easier for her to hold on to and use. And I feel like they're just more accessible in general for neurodivergent people, especially autistic people. If you feel like that's not the case, let me know and I can make another version of this as well. I have recently heard about a toothbrush that is really awesome that my older brother, who's also autistic, has mentioned to me that I think I'm actually going to get for my daughter. You actually put it in your mouth and it brushes for you. And at least with the kid version of it, there are different animals and they also have a song that they sing so that they know how long to keep it in their mouth. I will be trying that for my daughter when we get back from Argentina. I'm actually kind of excited about it, but I will put a link for that in the blog post for this and the YouTube video for this so that you can find those. I have no affiliation with this company. I would like to, but we haven't tried them yet. So I can't give my own personal recommendation to them. I can just tell you that someone else has recommended them to me and they sound interesting and we will be trying them. Once we do try them, I will let you know how we feel about them. So I did originally cut each set of steps, so set of 2 steps into little strips. And then I really wasn't sure how I was going to do this. So it took me a minute to figure it out, but I did end up putting 2 sets of steps into each of the little plastic protector pages that I have. If I knew I was going to do that beforehand, I probably would not have cut them into every single strip, but this is what I ended up doing. Again, if you wanted to use it as a flip book, you can do it that way. I would, if I was at home and had my laminating machine, I would have laminated all of these individually and then put them on the wall. That's the unique thing about these downloads is I create them so that they can be used multiple ways so that they work best for the person they are being used for. So once I was done putting them in the protective sheets, I had 8 of them and then I went to go put them in her bathroom. So this is where I also put the steps for the taking a bath life skill. If you remember, we're gonna be using all of the wall space in here before we leave. This is where the kids brush their teeth. I come in here and I brush their teeth with them every day because obviously the baby can't brush his own teeth and kids need help brushing their teeth. Every dentist says so. So I help my daughter as well, but I'm gonna put them next to her mirror, which is on the same side as where the toothbrushes are. And I just used masking tape to put these on the wall. Nothing fancy, definitely not what I'd be doing if I was at home in Tennessee, but this is what I have here in Argentina. And again, I like showing different ways of doing things because not everybody's gonna do it the exact same way I would do it. So showing different ways that you can do it and different options that you have, I think is helpful. Once I got all the steps on the wall, I then did begin to question whether I should have turned this into a little flip book. And I went and got my daughter and had her come give her input because I was about to tear it all down and punch some holes in some pages and put a ring on it and make it a flip book. But this is what she said.
So do you like it like this or do you want it to be like a little book?
I like it like this.
Okay.
So it's staying as is. So you can find this life skill along with the dental hygiene social story now on my site. I have also created a bundle about all of the dentist, dental, teeth related downloads that I have. So the going to the dentist, dental hygiene social stories, and the brushing teeth and flossing life skill are a bundle now, and you can get those for $10 if you get all 3 of them together.